Today for lunch we're going to make a light meal. It's going to be a pork tenderloin that's going to be topped with grilled peaches, and we're also going to make an Italian spinach. That Italian spinach will be in another recipe. You can check it out on our page. What I have here is a pound and a half of pork tenderloin, and right here I've made a seasoning mix. That seasoning mix is going to be 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it over my entire pork roast. And we're going to make sure that we really get it even, a lot of seasoning. My timer just went off because what we've done is we've taken our oven and we've preheated it to 400 degrees. I have got my pan here. We're going to add to that 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Once it gets hot, which shouldn't take very long since our pan was already warm, we're going to sear each side. And I'm going to go ahead and place that in there. And they're bubbling up, and we'll go ahead and get that seared. It's been searing just for a couple of minutes. It doesn't take very long for each side. We'll go ahead and turn it over. If you take a look there, we've got a nice little seared brown part. That's what we want, and we're going to do that to all 4 sides and both ends. Alright, it's been seared on all 4 sides. We're going to turn our heat off. We're going to take our pork loin and put it back on the aluminum foil pan that we had before. It's still got some of the spices that we had, and so we're just going to take it, wrap it up nice and tight. We're now going to stick it in our 400 degree oven for roughly 20 minutes until our internal temperature hits 160 degrees. 160 degrees is well done. That's kind of like we want it, but we'll show you at the very end. It's still extremely juicy at well done. Alright, we've checked the temperature on our meat. It's been 20 minutes, and it's at 160 to 165 degrees. We're going to let it sit, wrap, for roughly 15 to 20 minutes, because that's going to allow the pork tenderloin to reabsorb and redistribute all the juices throughout the loin. While that's happening, we're going to go ahead and get our peaches started. Alright, we'll let this set for about 20 minutes. We're going to open this up. As you can tell, it's still hot. We're going to nice and juicy. We're going to take a fork here and set it because it's nice and hot. And as you slice it, take a look, you can see all those juices. A delicious juicy meat. Now, while I'm getting ready to slice this, I'm going to go over here and take our pan that we were using earlier. That's got all the olive oil and all the seasonings that we had earlier. I'm going to stick that back on the heat. I'm going to turn that to low, and to that I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of butter. I'm going to let that melt. Alright, we've finished cutting that up. Over here, we've got our butter melted. To this, we're just going to let it heat just for a second. And what we've taken is we've taken a peach. We'll cut them into slices. We're just going to slightly cook them. Just want just a little bit of heat to it. Just going to pick up that flavoring from the butter, the Italian seasoning. While that's cooking, we're going to take some of our spinach that we made for another video. This on our plate. Take some of our pork. Let that to the side. You can really smell these peaches. They really smell delicious. And they don't have to cook for very long. You're probably just looking at a couple of minutes on each side, but you do want to get just a little bit of sear on them. Alright, we're going to take these peaches, put them right on top, and as we eat it, we'll take a slice of peach, and we'll take a slice of pork. We hope you enjoy this recipe.